Hi friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Zita, and on my channel I do DIYs and makeovers on a budget. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest at OakWell Home. So let's get started on today's DIYs and see what I've created. So friends, I have this Ikea cabinet. I've had it for quite a few years and needs a refresh. Now when I was painting my wall here, I did also just give this a little refresh at the time because I had some extra paint, so it's the same color, but there's some paint coming off it. I just want to give it another refresh. As you can see, I did it with a milk paint before, and yeah, like I said, once I was painting my wall, I just gave it a little refresh around the edges. As you can see, this is a different color, but I have some navy fusion paint. I'm hoping I have enough to paint this, so I'm going to give it a refresh, and I'm going to put some transfers on it and see how that looks. This is my little coffee and tea station. So let's get started on that and let's see how it turns out. So friends, this is what the Ikea dresser originally looked like. I found some pictures online because I didn't have any. So I painted it a while ago, and so I'm going to give it a second refresh. Now I've painted this with, like I said, the wall paint there when I was painting the wall because it needed a refresh. I've painted this with a milk paint before, as I mentioned, and the milk paint, I don't know, didn't look the greatest on this piece. Maybe it's because it wasn't real wood. So that's what it originally looked like there from those pictures, and to what it looks like now with the wall paint on the top and the sides. So what I did there first is just remove everything that I had on there, all my coffee and tea stuff, and gave it a wipe down. Now I'm going to put that on my vinyl paint mat there, so I don't get paint all over the floor, because I would. I'm a messy painter. And look at my sweet little puppy there. He's always around, just checking out what I'm doing. You know, as I'm doing my projects, you know, I don't really realize what he's doing until I start editing these videos, and I look back and he looks so curious. It's just so hilarious. He's there checking out every little part of the project. So what I'm doing here, I got some blocks from my craft room, and I'm just putting them under the legs to elevate the legs, so I can just get every part of the legs painted. And now I am removing all the handles. And friends, as you can see, I didn't take everything out of the drawers. I should have. It's a lot easier to do your project if you just take everything out of the drawers, but I don't know. I guess that day I just didn't feel like taking everything out and just putting it all back in. Everything was in there, you know, pretty neatly, so I just wanted to leave it in there, just take out what I had to take out. I took out a few things there from the bottom because I needed to remove that last handle. So yeah, I guess I was just being a little lazy there. Anyway, I got the handles off, and now I'm just putting down some more paper on the floor and in the drawers, so I don't get paint on anything in the drawers. So that's another good reason to remove all of your stuff from the drawers. So I would recommend removing all the stuff from the drawers. Just don't do what I did there. But, you know, put your paint papers down so you don't mess up your floors. That is a good recommendation. So here's my fusion paint that I'm using. This is called the Midnight Blue. It's like a very true navy color. Now you're gonna look at it and you're gonna go, it kind of looks like the color that's already on the piece, but it's not. It is different, and we're gonna do the whole piece in the same color, like the front, the sides, and the drawers. whereas now I just have the top and the sides the same color as the wall. So the piece is going to get all of this midnight blue. And it really blends in well with the walls, actually, which I really like. It gives it that moody look, and the transfers that I'm going to put on this piece absolutely looks stunning with this midnight blue color. And Fusion Paint has a built-in sealer, so I won't need to put a sealer on top before I apply my transfers, which is great about the Fusion Paint. And the Fusion Paint goes a long, long way. You may see coming up here me showing you like how much is left in this bottle. Not very much. Now it has kind of thickened up as well, so I'm using my spray bottle to get the paint to glide on easier, and to make sure I have enough for my piece. Now I did put 2 coats on there. Look at my sweet puppy in the background just having a rest while I complete the project. So as you can see here in this light, it's a better light, that the paint is like a true navy color. And so I'm just giving it the first coat with my brush and using my spray bottle. But you'll see coming up here after the first coat is dry, I do use a roller. So I put some of the paint, see, not much left in there, it's very thick. So I do pour some out into a little tray, and I use my roller to roll it on because it kind of gives it a nice smoother texture with the roller. I use a sponge roller actually. And so the second coat I give this piece will be with the roller. And before I give it the second coat with the roller, I do give it a nice light sanding with a fine sanding block here. So here now, friends, is the IOD transfers that I'm going to use. It's called the Lost Garden. If you watched my video last week, you may have seen me make over some items with this same transfer set. But this is when I first used them on this piece. So I have not used any in the book at the time I did this piece. So I'm just trying to figure out which ones I want to use, and I start with the flowers with the yellow in there because I thought the yellow is going to look really nice with the navy. And as you can see in this light, like it looks like a true navy. So again, friends, I'm lining up my drawers here. I have them taken out and just put on the floor upright, so it's easier to do the transfers, and so I can line up each of the drawers. And then after I apply the transfer, you will keep watching because you'll see me use something to make sure that the transfers are split between those drawers. And I still have my stuff in my drawers, friends. I don't know why I was being so lazy with those drawers at the time I did that piece, but I pulled out all these drawers with the stuff still in there. Anyway, so I laid down my first transfer here, and it's the whole sheet, which is nice. I didn't have to split them up yet. And right here, I'm using the burnishing tool that comes with the transfer package. And every package comes with this burnishing tool. So I got a whole collection of them now. And I'm just burnishing it down, and then you'll kind of see me pull up the carrier sheet like on a slant, which I think works best instead of pulling it straight up. And here's a better view. And so yeah, you'll start to see me kind of pull back that carrier sheet on a slant. And if everything doesn't come off as you're pulling it back, just lay it back down and burnish it in that spot again, and just start pulling it back on a slant. So as you can see here, I start with the corner and work my way up. So I just kind of burnished down the whole thing first, and then kind of just burnished it in spots and pulled it back, and then I will burnish it at the end with the carrier sheet, like I'll press it in. You'll see coming up here. Now this is really sped up here because of the editing, but this took me a while. So you're getting the sped up version. But it's a pretty simple process. It's a great way to make over a piece that is quick and easy, really, compared to a lot of ways that you could update a piece of furniture. Doesn't that look absolutely stunning against that color, friends? Oh my goodness. All those flowers pop so beautifully against that dark navy. So now, as you saw, that I just burnished in the flowers with the whole carrier sheet. Now I'm taking a razor blade and I'm kind of just splitting in between the drawers so everything stays intact nicely. And then I'm going to decide on my next piece that I want on the other side. And then there's going to be a space left in the middle, which I will have to cut down to fit in the piece and just line up my flowers. And it works out great. So friends, as you can see, it just got that little strip there. That wasn't enough. So I am going to have to cut a piece from one of those sheets. So I'm just going to decide which one I want and which one's going to fit in best with the rest of the flowers. And you know, it's a wildflower bunch, so anything will probably fit in there, but I just want to make sure everything kind of matches. So I choose which one I want and cut it down. And the nice thing with these transfers as well, the carrier sheets are on like a grid lined carrier sheet. So, you know, you don't have to worry about cutting it straight. You got your lines there. That's going to give you the ability to cut it in a straight line. Sorry friends, my dog decided to play there while I'm editing, so if you hear any background noise, that's what you're hearing. So yeah, you got those grid lines there that will let you know, cut your transfer straight because if those weren't there, I probably wouldn't be able to cut it so straight. So then I line that up, and where I want to you know, make sure it's not running into any of the other flowers, and then I'm going to do the same thing, burnish it down with my tool, and then burnish it at the end with the carrier sheet to kind of press everything in. And you will see coming up once I put the handles on that I think that the piece kind of looks too unnatural with the transfers just on the two drawers. So I do cut out some transfers and add to that top drawer, kind of just on the sides, so just as it's, you know, making it look more natural, like the flowers are coming up on the sides. I wanted to give the drawers some negative space, so I do leave some negative space in the middle of that top drawer and kind of bring the flowers up on the sides. And I think that looks so much better than just you know, the two drawers just looking kind of unnatural and like straight across. It just doesn't look natural. So that's what I do with the transfers for the top drawer. And then I'm going to seal the piece with some polyacrylic to seal in those transfers, you know, so I'm able to wipe down the piece, you know, from dust and dirt, you know, because I am using this for a coffee and tea bar. So that's what I'll do with the rest of the piece. And yeah, these transfers are just absolutely stunning, aren't they, friends? It just looks so amazing on this dark color. And if you watch my video from last week, I used them on a dark color as well. So as you can see, I still have the stuff in my drawers. So now I'm putting the handles back on. It, you know, makes it much more difficult when you have stuff in your drawers. So again, my recommendation is to take the stuff out of your drawers. But I got them in. Now, friends, you know, I shouldn't have yet put the handles on, actually, because, you know, like I said, I'm going to put polyacrylic on this piece. So I should have just left the handles off until after that. But I left them on there even while I did put the polyacrylic on there. So it did work out. So as you can see, I did cut some of the transfers to put it on the top drawer here, and it looks way more natural than just on the two drawers. So friends, this piece is finished. It's time to put it back in its spot and set it all up for my coffee and tea station. Now, what you didn't see here, friends, was that I did give it a second coat of polyacrylic, but I use a roller to get it nice and smooth. Again, the same thing I did with the paint. So I just didn't think that it looked smooth enough with the paintbrush, so I used a roller for the second coat of polyacrylic. And as you can see, it looks nice and shiny, and man, those flowers look absolutely beautiful on that dark color. So I'm just going to set it all up for my coffee and tea station there while my sweet puppy watches everything that I do. And he told me that he was really happy with the piece as well. And he said, "Good job, Mom. Hard work." So friends, let me know once you see the final pics. I'll show you the before and the after and what this piece looked like originally before it was even painted. And then you'll see what it looked like after I had painted it without the transfers, and then the final pics of what it looks like with these beautiful transfers. So friends, let me know in the comments what you think of the final piece. Give me a like and head on over to that subscribe button if you haven't yet subscribed. And again, I would really appreciate a comment so I can see what you guys think of the final piece. Thank you so much for watching and for being here today. I really appreciate each and every one of you.